the dangerous thing, and I think that's what Michael is talking about, he says he doesn't want to be a Southern writer, is that you think of yourself that way. Then your imagination is limited.
Yeah.
So I don't really think of myself, I don't feel like that I have to speak for the South or for Appalachia or for the working class. I happen to have written a book that was about that, and I'm glad to have done that. But when I was writing the book, I wasn't thinking this is the voice of the working class. The lyric I is probably the strongest component of contemporary poetry. But I think that there's a lot of other things that need to be said and approached. My grandmother died during that period, and I realized that with her generation, that last people of locality really are gone and never to be again, because we have the internet and we have TV and radio, and that Appalachia has vanished. And that's what I wanted this book to be, is sort of elegy and documentary and love song. And when I gave it to the editor of the series at the University of Chicago, basically what I gave him was the middle of the book. And he came back and said, well, you've really got something here, but it's not finished. You've got to have a beginning that is pre the time you're describing, and you need an end that is post, the adult poet that you became looking back on that experience. I think you're born a distance runner or a sprinter, and I happen to, in a literary sense, I think I'm a sprinter. I think particularly for poets, the landscape of your youth is very important. It somehow infects you with its sounds and with its just the way things look. And I think that I would share that with a poet from the Scottish Highlands. And it's really, I think if you're honest, it's what you feel every time you write a new piece. You write that piece, and it is wonderful, and you're so happy with that piece. And you go to bed, and then you get up and look at it in the morning. And if you have some maturity about it, you look at it and say, oh, God, it wasn't as good as I thought it was. I think student writers, they have to learn that.